All right, guys. So welcome to one more episode of Latin Vegan and Latino Vegano. Today I have a special guest. So she's a fitness and health coach, nutritionist, vegan pro bikini athlete. She's the co-founder and chief of Vegan Curl Company, originally from the Ukraine. She at 9 years old she went vegan, or she stopped eating meat actually, and I think she went vegan in 2015, 2016, around that time, like 6 years ago. She's a professional actress. She have a podcast named the Vegan Booty Talks, and she's a cover model. So without further ado, Aurora. So how are you? How you doing today?
Latina, latinoyvegano.com.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for a great introduction. I didn't even know I do so much.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's amazing to see all your accolades. But before, I want to congratulate you because you just recently got the cover of Playbait magazine. Playbait magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually wasn't recently. It just didn't post it, so it was a couple months ago. It was a while ago.
Oh yeah. So tell us how's that even happen? Well, before we go there, let's go from the beginning. Like, how does this, like, at 9 years old you stop eating meat? Like, what made you make that decision at 9 years old?
Okay, yeah, sure. I just wanna first of all say that I wasn't vegan from 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped eating meat exactly, but at that time, of course, I didn't know what's vegan about, and they even exist,
Yeah.
So I just stopped eating meat because it was absolutely, it's absolutely simple. My family and I, we
Mm-hmm.
all ate meat, like a
Right.
barbecue, and we all got sick of that.
Mm.
And, I think it was just kind of a maybe bad meat production or something, because all my family got sick on the next day.
Right.
So when I was a kid, I don't even remember what I was thinking, but I guess when you got sick of something, you just don't want to eat that anymore.
Okay.
So basically, I stopped eating meat and I started refusing when my mom was trying to feed me meat again.
Mm.
And it was a couple weeks, but then I keep refusing that. So, I am from Ukraine, and if you're a little bit familiar with this country, we are meat lovers.
Right.
Basically, we eat a lot of meat and dairy products is a culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was even scary that is unnormal, and she took me to the doctor, and she was like trying to find out what's going on with me, why I'm not eating meat. It's
Right.
so bad. Like I cannot be growing up like that. I'm gonna be unhealthy and stuff like that. Hopefully for me, and thanks God, the doctor was smart enough to say, don't push your kid to eat
Mm-hmm.
anything. If she don't want to, don't push it. It's fine.
Very good.
Her body gonna tell her if she needs to. So that's
Wow.
it. Thanks God, by that doctor, my mom stopped pushing me, and I just naturally didn't eat meat. So everyone was keep eating meat in my family, but I was just, refusing it every time when my mom tried to feed me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's very good. That's interesting that you decided to stop eating meat. Not necessarily in this case because of any of the vegan reasons. We're gonna get there, but because of something in particular that affected you guys' health, and or at least at that particular moment. And but that the decision was made, and you got the opportunity to talk to this doctor then that say, hey, don't push it, which is great. So how then what was your journey then? After that, and then how did you decided to go vegan in 6 years ago? How's that transition went?
Yeah. So basically, when I was a teenager, I realized that they're a little different than everyone else,
Mm.
especially, in school. Everyone was enjoying some pizza with meat or something. So I was like, why I didn't eat that? Everyone is eat that. Let me try. So I actually tried
Hmm.
some type of chicken, I believe, and it was a teenager age, maybe about 14 years old. And I hate that. I
Mm.
hate the taste. I almost threw it away, but I anyway ate a little small piece. And I remember I felt so bad. So
Mm.
basically, as I know right now as a nutritionist, what happened is my stomach is stop producing those specific ferments to actually digest meat properly
Right.
because I didn't eat that for almost all my life. So when I tried a little bit, I felt bad. My stomach was telling me, oh, no, 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 we don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So from that time, I was like, oh no, it tastes gross. I feel so bad. No, I'm not going to eat that. So basically, that was it. I never tried before. But then when I was growing up, I start to look around and see what meat actually is about.
Mm.
Oh, that's the animals, right? And I love animals from the bottom of my heart. So I was like, why people actually kill them? I remember my father, he's from village.
Mhm.
So every summer we went to village and my father and my grandfather was killing at least chicken or sometimes a pig every summer. And
Mhm.
I remember I couldn't see that. I was running in the house in a lost like room and then sitting in the dark, trying to cover my ears from this, like
Yeah, the
crazy
feeling. Yeah.
animals
Mhm.
sacrificing sounds when
Right.
they are died. So it was always, crushing my heart. I couldn't do that. I couldn't see that. So I was like, that's why I don't eat meat. That was so straight to me.
Right.
And then when I got about 23, 24, I moved to America. I
Mhm.
moved to New York first from Ukraine.
Mhm.
And I find out that it's so obesity in here. Like in America, like a lot of people overweight. It's a big problem. And I was like, wonder why is that? So I start research and look around, and I realized that American standard diet is even worse than Ukrainian.
Mhm.
It's all full of dairy and meat products. By that time, I was having fish. So I slowly took fish out because I find out again by doing my own research that fish is the animals and it's also can feel, and it's a really crazy industry, and it's just growth to eat fish and this time for me. And unfortunately in that time for me in America it wasn't really good dairy products. So I used to grow, as I said, in village where my grandmother was having a cow and then fresh milk and the cheeses was made from that fresh milk. you know it was really nice taste.
Mm.
And here in America the milk was like doesn't even taste like a milk. And then again I got so much digestion issues because of that. So it was
Right.
like, no, I couldn't do that. And I just switched to almond. So basically, in a couple of years, I realized that I do really eat only cheese sometimes. So why should I do that? And then I fell in love with fitness.
Mm.
When I moved to America, I moved from my actress career more to fitness because when I moved, I didn't speak English at all. So it was really hard to be an actress without the language, right?
Mm.
So I started to do modeling and I fell in love with fitness and I start to, compete and I get an idea. What if I gonna prep for my first bikini competition as a vegan?
Mm.
And then I found a trainer and I said that idea to her and she said it's impossible. And that's
Ah,
what I was needed. I'm the kind of person like say me it's impossible and that's
yes.
gonna inspire the fire in me. So I said to her, oh no, it's possible and I will show you and you actually gonna help me to do it. So she was my trainer for my first show.
Mhm.
It was all online. She didn't train me in person, but she
Mhm.
helped me with
Right.
the workouts and with the nutrition plan.
Right.
So, you know what? I did it and I won that show as a vegan, absolutely natural athlete. And
Nice.
from that time when I won that show, I remember I stepped out from the stage, hugged my husband, and I said, I think I can do it. Like, I think it's a good result for a first show. No
Yeah.
one has believed me that I was vegan. No one has believed that it was my first show. So I really fell in love with fitness and I realized that I want to educate myself. So I went and I studied, I finished an ICCA certification and I got my nutrition degree and my personal training degree. And I kind of start, doing it by my heart. Because as I said, it's so much obesity problems in America. So I was really inspired to show people that you could eat healthy plant-based meals and not only lose weight and be healthy, but also, build muscles and have an amazing results. You can improve your performance. That's it.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know what? There's so many things in your story that caught my attention because we have very similar stories, very very similar story. And I've spoken with a lot of vegans, and the stories are very similar. In the sense is like,
Mhm.
for example, like a quick thing about me is so I'm originally from Panama, so I'm foreign to some extent. Yeah, and and when I moved here, I went vegan 20 years ago, actually. So I went vegan 20 years ago. And when I went vegan, same thing. My family was like, what's wrong with me? I'm crazy. You're gonna get sick. You need me for the protein, all those myths, right? So my family was very
Yeah.
hard. So, and then on top of that, my sister, she's a general doctor. So I'm going against the grain in my family because she's like, no, there's no way. But doctors don't have no nutritious knowledge. But anyway, that's a different subject, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going against all of those odds. So I'm here, the one guy, the hippie guy being vegan, right? Going against every culture, everything that my family, every value that my family possibly had. Just like your culture pretty much saying there, the Latin culture is very heavy on meat. Like meat is pretty much what they eat all day long, pretty much. Like every food has to have some kind of meat, and they have no nutrition value whatsoever at all. So they had no knowledge of nutrition at all. So you go vegan, absolutely everybody turns into a nutritionist expert, right? And it usually always happen.
Mhm.
So same thing too. I went vegan and I moved to New York. I moved
Oh,
to New York.
wow.
Yeah, I moved to New York. That was my I have family in New York, so I moved to New York, and that was in 2004. And I went vegan in 2002. So I was already 2 years in the vegan thing, my vegan lifestyle before I moved to New York. So when I moved to New
Yeah.
York, for me, it was like I saw heaven to some extent because like whole food and all these different things, right? Vegan pizza and so all these different things. And of course, back then there was no like Beyond Meat and all that stuff. But anyway, there was a lot of it was a lot more options. So I was kind of happy for that. Then I live now in Texas, so I moved to Texas and things were a little bit different. But the point is that I also was trying to train. I remember that day like it was just today. I remember that I went to a gym because I always been an athlete and I played all kind of sports from little, and then I played basketball, baseball, soccer, all kind of sport. But then I have really bad injuries on my knees, and a lot of the sport kind of put on the side. So I was looking for what's next in my life. Like, what is the next thing that I'm gonna do? And I found bodybuilding as my next option. And so I went to a trainer. When you sign up for a gym, they give you like a free membership that you can train with one of
Mhm.
their local trainer. So I took that
Mhm.
membership and I went to a trainer, and I went with a magazine, right? And then the cover was this guy. It was just, a guy ripped, kind of like a physique type of guy. And I was like, yeah, I want to look like this guy. What do I need to do? And he was like, yeah, I can train you, blah, blah, blah. He told me all those things. So I was like, yeah, I have a thing to tell you though. I'm vegan. He was like, oh, there's no way you're gonna build muscle that way. He was like, no way. And just like you, I was like, listen, you're wrong because there's no way that this is not possible. I think you're a bad trainer, and don't no disrespect to you, because the good trainer will tell me I don't know how to do it, but we can figure it out, or I'll find out. A good trainer will try to find out. Don't automatically say it's not possible just because you don't know. So
Yeah.
I kind of have a little bit of a motivation. I was like, I'm gonna prove that it's possible to do all this stuff. So that's
Mhm.
how my whole journey with the fitness and veganism started. But I was already vegan when I went into fitness. But that's how I started training, and the whole thing took off from there. But that's an excellent story. So tell us a little bit about how was your prep journey? How was it? It was difficult because a lot of people don't understand the whole training purpose. Like, how did that happen? Do you go weeks, without eating certain meals, tracking your meals? They don't understand. I'm a competitor, so I understand, but I'm speaking like from somebody that has no idea how that works. Like, how long does that take? How was your prep? I mean, do you have to like
Mhm.
control macros? Like, what is your style? I mean, how many days do you train? Like, tell us a little bit about how you prepping for that first competition was.
This first one, as I
Yeah.
said, it was a
Mhm.
girl. She actually wasn't really a trainer, like a big name trainer.
Uh-huh.
She was a local girl. I found her through friends, and she just gave me a workout plan. and a nutrition plan. It wasn't
Mm.
a macros because I think she don't really familiar with that.
Yeah.
And as I already said, she wasn't doing vegan at all. So what she gave it to me by looking at that right now from like 6 years of experience and being a nutritionist, it was really funny. But she was a good trainer and I really love what she teach me. But
Mm.
she just didn't know a lot of different options as a vegan proteins. So
Right.
I remember that by the end of my prep, which was a not super long, but it's not short one. I think it was in about 3 months or 4 months, something like that.
Mhm.
And I remember I was texting her like, I cannot eat this tofu anymore. Please give me something else. And she was like, if you know any other sources of protein as a vegan, you can tell me, unless you want to eat chicken, you know? And I was like, I was so new in veganism too, as I
Right.
said, right? I was vegetarian, but I didn't was particular in my food choices. I didn't know how much protein I ate at that time.
Mhm.
But I was always kind of fit by just doing acting and dancing and then doing some group classes here and there. I wasn't like, obese, overweight, or just skinny. I was like a little bit fit, but not like a bodybuilder fit, right? And I
Mhm.
never know what's proteins, what carbs were. And I actually happy that she was my first trainer because she actually pushed me to educate myself and
Mm.
go and study because she couldn't help me. So I was trying to find those, other vegan protein sources by
Right.
myself. I was trying to figure out how to eat and, still achieve my goals. I trained, as I believe, 5 days a week and I have 2 days off. But the good thing about her, and I hope she's gonna listen, that she never put me on really crazy low macros. She
Mm.
was really smart with that. We slowly, cut some things out, but it wasn't anything crazy. As for example, sometimes people can have really bad first show experiences. She was really good with that. I didn't did even a lot of cardio, I would say. It's
Mm.
just because I was again moving a lot on my work. At that time, I was a dance teacher too.
Mm.
So I like really did a lot of cardio just by working and
Right.
living in New York. As you know, it's always walking because
Yep.
traffic is everywhere. So I think it was healthy prep. That's why I enjoyed so much. That's
Mm.
why when I won, I was like, I want to do that. It's cool. It's nice. It wasn't like a bad experience.
Mm.
But after that show, I did a couple more in that season. And on the next year, I actually hire a professional trainer with much more experience who is Paul Riviera. I don't know if you heard about this
Yep.
guy.
Mhm.
He's doing macro counting.
Oh yeah.
So by that time, I was already studying as a nutritionist, but I actually never, did macro counting before.
Mhm.
So he was the first one who introduced me to that, and I fell
Mhm.
in love with this approach. And he teach me a lot. Paul is really sweet guy. We are friends right now. I don't work with him anymore. Now I kind of my own trainer because, as you know, no one is know your body more
Better
than
than you.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I hire a trainer just in season when I know
Mhm.
I'm gonna take a show to just kind of have an eye from outside. But on my off season for now, I prefer to train myself, and I do macro counting usually on off season for sure. On a prep, it's macro counting. But when you're 2 weeks out of a show, it doesn't mean I'm gonna eat new things every day. No, of course not. So by saying I'm doing macro counting, I'm just not restrict myself from any foods. I know that I can eat even like 1 day before show something that is fits my macros, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to have any surprises before my show, right?
Yeah.
And then also, I would say for now, I don't know what's gonna be my next goal, but I don't compete this year. I
Mhm.
took a big off season because I know my goal is to, first of all, help people and take care of others. I like to compete, but I find out that this is kind of really tricky because, as you know, bodybuilding world is not the healthiest world.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So as a natural athlete, I got my pro card 2 years ago as a WNBF pro,
Mhm.
but I didn't have IBB Pro card yet,
Yeah.
which is kind of my goal on the one hand, but on the other hand,
Right.
I don't like to use any steroids or any
Right.
illegal things. So I'm kind of taking my time to grow, taking slow things and focusing on my clients more. I'm really happy to see my clients compete or just, help people to move more to the plant-based diet style or just, getting healthier.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what I'm focused more right now.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. And you doing great. We appreciate you from the vegan community. If you ain't never been that said that to you before, I'm gonna be that voice that said that the animals appreciate it, the environment appreciates you, and your health appreciates you también. So I'm sure your clients say the same thing about that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So tell me a little bit of like what really inspires you. You always talk about your clients. So what is it that is like the biggest inspiration if we had to ask you that question, what is it?
Honestly, I think that's what inspire me is the most is my clients. Is
Mm.
it like not only like you have to sign with me, no, just the people around me, like people who are looking for help because I
Right.
was on that place. I was there. I was that shy girl who don't know how to talk English, how to use the machine, how to do even squats properly. I was on that spot. So I know how it feels like. Then when you show up in a gym and you don't know how to use the machine and you're trying to ask how to do it, not only because you don't know how to use it, just because you don't know how to say it in English.
Right.
So I really inspired by helping people around me and I inspired by seeing my clients and results. I am the type of person who don't like to just give a plan, just give a diet, just give a workout plan and see how it goes. No, everyone who comes to me, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to educate those people. My inspiration is to see someone in 2, 5, 10 years after they talk to me doing great. I'm seeing them still crushing their goals, healthy, working out, have an amazing friends and family relationship, and never coming back to bad and growth lifestyle. That's my inspiration.
That's awesome. That's great. And you have an important thing that sense that you really challenged yourself and you overcame a lot of adversity. So what would be an advice or a tip or something you can tell people how can they do to overcome challenges? You always say like, I didn't speak the language very well. I didn't know how to do a rack. I didn't know how to squat. And we all face those. I faced those too. I mean, I didn't learn English, by just learning it. Like it was something that took time for me to kind of get used to the language because my first language is not even English. So,
Yeah.
so how do you overcome those things, and what kind of advice you give people they can use in their lives so they can, if they're facing some kind of challenge right now, that they can use so they can overcome those things.
Yeah, it's really good question.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of couple things I would say. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is you have to believe in yourself. No
Mm.
one else, right? No one from outside is going to believe in you. You have to truly believe in yourself. And what's helped me personally to believe in myself is my spirit. I am Christian. I believe in God. And not just saying I believe in God, I have a relationship with Him.
Wow.
So this is something that helped me to believe in myself because I know that He is believing in me. So if you don't have this type of spirit in you, you just maybe believe in a power or in any other God you can believe. I think it's always helping people to kind of like go and don't listen to anyone and pursue their dreams. So first I'm gonna say is truly believe in yourself. Know that you can do anything you want. Don't listen to anyone out there. If anything's in your mind come up, that means you can do it. Trust
Mm.
me. If today you wake up and you think, oh, I want to be a millionaire. And then you
Mm-hmm.
stop yourself and you're saying, oh no, it's so stupid. Of course I'm not gonna be. No, you're gonna be if you want to. So I really think that the first thing is truly believe in yourself. The second thing I would say is don't give up. And I know it's kind of like, everyone say that, right? But that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
we all make mistakes, right? And I couldn't even count how many mistakes I made in my life and how many times I step out of my, normal road, and I fall down on the ground and someone even step on my face. Everything can happen. But if you are not stopping, if you are get yourself up and keep going wherever you want to go, even if it's a small steps, that's going to help you to finally one day achieve that dream. And even if not, I always say that our life is kind of a moving, it's always evolving to reach something, right?
Right.
So you may never gonna be a millionaire, but if you are going to that direction whole your life, you're gonna be successful, right?
Right.
So that's the things I would say.
That's very profound. So believe in yourself and don't give up.
Yeah, I
I,
know
I,
it's kind of
like a
it's
cliche, but
you can read it any magazine, but I would
mm,
really recommend to truly believe in those words
yes.
and manifestate them, because this is what
Mm.
I do. Yeah.
No, and I'm 150% agree with you on that one. As simple as it
Yeah.
sounds, and I don't care how simple it sounds, but is it true? Like that sometimes you need to hear something as simple as that. You don't want to hear something very complex because you don't want to get like confused. Something simple as that. Believe in yourself and don't give up. Because my
Yeah, I would
majority.
add I'm sorry, I would add from the first one also, like let's say the third one's going to be find your spirit, find your
Mm,
wisdom, you know what I mean?
yes.
Because like you have to have something in the back, just like I said, right? So you
Mhm.
have to have some, health system. Maybe it's going to be your family, maybe it's going
Right.
to be your power, maybe you believe in God, but
Right.
you have to have some spirit in you to truly believe in yourself and never give up.
Yes, very, very good. I love that, and I love that. I think a lot of people will find a lot of value on that because it's key. It's key. So everything that you said, from the way you think is going to manifest, but you really have to think about it. The thing is, like, we've been programmed, and it goes down with the food as well. The way we've been programmed, from traditions, family, the way our parents raised us. And I'm not blaming our parents because they don't know any better, right? They were raised by somebody else. So the way we were raised, we get all those, we call it paradigm, but it's the same thing. My culture, traditions, costumes, all whatever, all that stuff is all the same. And the way we were raised is the same way we act. So when you're a little kid and then you tell your parents, I want to be a movie star, and they say, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. You just have to go to school and then get your education and do these things, and they automatically block that that wish that you have. And then what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to grow to be that because that desire you have was completely shut down. So in the same way,
Yes.
and then you just keep growing up, and every time you have a vision or an idea or a dream, you block it because you sabotage your own self, right? So that's why
Absolutely.
when you come saying you got to believe in yourself, keep going, and you have to have some kind of either support system or some kind of spirituality or some kind of a belief. You got to believe in something because that belief is going to allow you to push you to either you pray, right? You pray for that divine power to give you what you're looking for. And the same way,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep, it's gonna keep pushing because the belief is gonna get you where you want to go. So that's a very nice message, and I appreciate giving that message.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with what you're saying. You also have to be careful what you say about people, right? Just
Mm,
like you said, our parents just don't know any better. And sometimes they just want to help us to find the right career, the right passion, right? But in the same way, just in a daily basic, like every day, I am always trying to be careful what I'm saying, be careful with my clients, because you have to know, like, and then make attention. If
yeah,
you say something to someone you may don't even know, but it's can change their life, right?
true,
I'm gonna say you right now that your tomorrow is gonna have an amazing car and you're gonna be successful, and that's gonna change your mind in a good way. But if I'm gonna say to you, oh no, you're just stupid guy, right? you already kind of have an absolutely negative impact. And I did that in your life. So every time when I have clients coming to me for any advice, I always say, you guys have to, first of all, believe in yourself. And then second thing is having this knowing, right, that you actually can do anything in this life. It's all here, and how you program yourself is going to reflect in your life. Even how we are taking things. Okay. I deal with so much stress when girls come to me and say, I hate myself.
Oh
Right.
no.
And then I gotta tell you, they look amazing. Honestly, like from the skinniest one to the obesity ones, they always hate themselves. And
Mm,
I'm gonna tell you, I say them, you know what? We can lose the weight, or we can grow your glutes. We can, make your shoulders better. Wherever you are hating yourself the most, we can change that. We can change that, but we cannot change your mind. You're gonna
that's
hate
right.
yourself with a bigger butt, with a bigger shoulders, and with
Yeah.
like a lower weight, or like whatever goal you have. You're gonna keep hating yourself,
Yeah.
right? So it's all from here. We have to know and work on our mindset, on our spiritual growth, just the same way that we eat, that we train. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I think being vegan is not like only eating plant-based.
Right.
As for me, at this time, being vegan is more like a lifestyle. I
Mm-hmm.
support only vegan production. I don't like tests on animals. I don't
Yes.
buy things that was abusing animals. And
Yes.
I think that's the first thing for me right now why I'm vegan. And the second thing is health and the plant-based lifestyle.
Right.
So yeah, it's all related.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. Like, same way with me, veganism is a lifestyle. Actually, I didn't even share to you how I went vegan, but I went vegan because I saw a video of PETA of an animal slaughtering. So that
Mm,
changed me. That changed my
wow.
life. So when I saw how they used to treat the cows, the pig, and how they cut their throat and all that, that completely changed me. So I went
Yeah.
vegan. I went vegan cold turkey, no pun intended. The next day I was like, okay, I'm not eating meat anymore. I don't do any of these things. Then I started
Yeah.
learning more about like like shoes and all that kind of stuff. So vegan it's a lifestyle to me. Like if I show you my wallet is made out of vegan leather. You see what I mean? So it's the same
Hmm.
way my belt and everything that I carry. It's a lifestyle to me. It's not just one thing. It's not just eating a whole food
Yes.
plant-based diet. But no
Mhm.
no disrespect or nothing to anyone that that have a whole food plant-based. I think it's better to have you starting from somewhere and then move your way up or whatever you want to call it, ladder or move, however you want to call it. But it's good to you at least you're not eating
Yeah.
animals, right? Because I think.
Exactly. Yes. I always say that too. Like it's
Mhm.
not so a lot of people don't want to try being vegan or even say that because they
Label.
scared to mess up.
Yeah.
They
Right.
scared to mess up,
Mhm.
just like you're saying, like, oh, I could be plant-based, but I could use animal products, so I'm not
Right.
vegan, so I'm
Right.
not consider myself like vegan.
Right.
So anyone who listen out there, I just wanna let you know that you can call yourself vegan even if you use animal products in daily use. If you just plant-based, it's only a name. It doesn't matter. You can even add one plant-based meal into your day, and that's gonna be great. And you can already change a lot of things in this world for better. So don't be scared to just try small things here and there. You don't need to go fully vegan to try and plant-based meats. No, I always say don't be scared, guys, to try it out. And those small trials is gonna lead you maybe to switch, maybe not, and that's okay. As I always say, I'm not like the type of vegan who is this the only way of living. No, I truly believe as a nutritionist, this is the best way for your health, as I know. But again, some people cannot do that. And that's for different reasons and for health reasons as well as environment reasons or and different type of plant like environment they live. And I would say it's okay if you cannot go vegan, it's fine. Just make sure you do your best in wherever you can, right?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Very good. Very good. I like that message, and I like the fact that you specify that everything starts from the mind. And I want one thing that I tell people is like it's like for us vegan, or like for me vegan is like the first thing that well, first thing that I decided to, when I decided to go vegan, is I changed my mind. I changed my
Mm-hmm.
mindset. So my mindset was like, okay, now I've been programmed my whole life to think this way, that this is the way to live. But then my compassion took over and say, okay, how would I change that? So now I'm not thinking, I'm not going to go vegan, thinking how I'm going to do it. So, and at that point for me, there's no turn back. So I changed my mindset. So it's the same way that the same message that we're trying to say about how everything starts in your mind, you can apply for anything that you do in life. Even if somebody told you, oh, you're never going to be able to be successful or millionaire like you say, you should say, no, no, wait a minute. That's not what I think. I'm already there. I'm going to accomplish that goal, and I'm going to keep pushing myself to get to my goal. The key here is not only that, okay, like these three messages that you gave them, but at the same time, you have to continue. You believe in yourself, you have your spirituality or your belief system, and you continue doing thrive. You continue making that movement each day. Don't give up. So every day you keep doing a little bit that puts you closer to your goal. That will be
Yeah.
just keep doing whatever to do it. Trust me, when we compete for a bodybuilding show, you only see the end product, but you guys don't see all the work that we put behind the scene. You might just see on stage and the beautiful picture, and when we get out the water out of the system, but there's a work behind, even in the off season, eating, training, eat day in and day out. So somebody that trains for a bodybuilding show doesn't go, oh, I'm gonna train for 4 weeks, 4 months, and then I'm gonna go to a show. I mean, they've been training for a while now. So that's
Yeah,
the
of
point. To be
course.
able to accomplish that goal, you have to have that discipline. So I don't think a lot of people understand that, but it's good that we will be able to touch in those different things. You agree?
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people want quick results, especially nowadays. And I'm not believing in those quick diets and short workouts to keep you as and see results in a week. All those even challenges is really terrible approach, I think, because if you have this short-term goal, in one hand is great because you have short-term goals, so you can accomplish that, right? But what after? So in any short-term goal, I always ask, what do you do after? Because sometimes people come to me and say, I have a wedding in 3 weeks and I need to lose weight or something like that. Or I have a show in 3 months. Can you help me? And I'm like, yes, I can. And that's a great to have a goal. It's perfect to even have a date, photo shoot or wedding or show. But remember, what's next, right? We're not making those changes for a show, for some specific date. We're making those changes forever for your life. You got to be having a better lifestyle in order to be successful even after this specific date, because this is the mistake that a lot of people make. They
Mm-hmm.
only know by then, and after whatever is happened has happened, and it's going to happen the worst, unfortunately, because our body built like that.
Mm-hmm.
No one is built to be as much lean and having as much muscles as we are on the stage.
Right.
And then for anyone who not familiar with the bodybuilding, I just want to let you know, guys, it's unhealthy sport. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing working out and eating healthy is great, but being on the stage and having a really low body fat percentage is unhealthy. Okay. And this is a real line between those two things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you want to be healthy and change your lifestyle, don't think that show is going to help you to do so.
Right.
Mm-mm. No, not any bodybuilding show or the date is going to help you to be healthier. The better is going to be proper workouts and proper nutrition and a long term when you don't have an end date, unless you know when you're going to die, that's just going to be right. That's going to be the probably the best approach, right?
Yeah.
And this doesn't mean we cannot have a goals like that. As I said,
Right.
right, it's perfect to have a goal, but it's not goal for life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's why I kind of like scared to go fully in bodybuilding like world. That's the way what I said, because what's crushing me the most is to seeing bodybuilders taking steroids and unhealthy drugs just in order to grow muscles. And I don't like that. I'll be honest, I am not support that, and I don't judge them. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand this is the sport and everyone have a choice, but this is not my choice. And I don't recommend it for anyone out there, especially for females. I mean, not
Not
for
even for
anyone
men.
else. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it
Yeah.
too, but I know how hard it is for female hormones. It's just kind of my specific approach, and I know a lot of female, hormones and nutrition problems. So I would say these things for female is really dangerous, really dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I had nothing against necessarily towards people that test steroid, but that's not my choice. So I want to do it naturally. If that means that it's gonna take me 50 years, 10 years, 40 years, whatever time, I'll just continue doing it. Of course, I want anyone in the bodybuilding sport wants to be competitive. Like you don't get necessarily to a sport not to win, but there's a fine line, right? So you have to think always what's next, or what's your health, what's more important. So it's important to have a quick result. Even if you take steroid, you have to train. So don't get me wrong. So like you take steroid, you still have to go to the gym. It's not like you're gonna take steroid and the muscle just gonna grow by
Yeah.
itself. So, but
Yeah.
you still have to have some kind of discipline, eating and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the point is like I don't want, I'm necessarily not condoning that. My personally experience is just to, do your thing, grow naturally, and train, eat well, and then you're gonna see result. It's not gonna be probably at the pace that you probably want it to be, but it's gonna, at least you're gonna put you in a situation that in the long run you're gonna have a better health. We already saying that the sport is not the healthiest sport because the way you dehydrate your body and all that kind of things. So you already pushing your body into a lot of stress, especially for women, because I know it's kind of very fishy with the period and all that kind of stuff. So you don't want to put your body in that situation. So then now add to that, performance enhancement. But the point here, guys, is that just be wise. Everybody have their own will to do whatever they feel like it. But from my perspective, or from my experience, we rather do it naturally, which is probably the best way to go for our long-term health. There's a lot of
Yeah.
cases of people taking steroid that have had bad health things, and others are still around. So just be careful. We just want you guys to have a long live. There's no point that you eat, a whole food plant-based diet, really clean diet, and then you go take steroids. So like, so we want you guys to overall have a good health in all aspects.
Yeah, I just want to be honest about these
Mhm.
topics because no one is talk about that,
Right.
and it's crazy. Only in this year is like I think it's three bodybuilders, like really known ones, died,
Mhm.
and no one is saying that it's because of steroids. I'm not saying that too, but it's really strange. Why healthy, fit, young males died, right? And it's for sure because of use of something, maybe in the past, but it's affect your health slowly by slowly. And
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with that, and I will be straightforward because no one is talk about those things, as well as no one is talk about how dairy or meat affect our health, and
Right.
that's really terrible. And this is what's sad because everyone could have a choice. As I said, vegan diet not for everyone, maybe, but everyone have to be educated enough and know the truth.
Mhm.
And when I see the commercials everywhere, TV, radio, shoppings, and sales, and they all trying to sell you meat and dairy, why? Because you really need it? Uh-uh. Look in the searches, like go and Google like why people die of heart disease, why people have a heart attack on 55. In nowadays, we think it's normal. No, it's not. It's not normal. It's all about high cholesterol, and high cholesterol is comes from meat, right? It's directly because we eat a lot of like chicken and beef, and that's what affect those things. It's a new documentary. I just today actually read about that. It's coming out. It's gonna called um, "They Want Us to Die," I believe,
They're
or
trying to kill
something
us.
like that.
They're trying to
Yeah,
kill
they're
us.
trying to kill it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know that, right?
It came. It
New
came out.
documentary coming out
It came out last night.
last night. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
trying to kill us. Yes,
Mhm.
guys, I didn't see it yet. Did you?
No, I haven't yet. From Badass Vegan.
Yes, it's from the same producer that did
Conspiracy.
yes, and he also did What the Health.
What the hell? Yes.
Yes, those amazing films. And I'm so happy because of that to be seeing, to seeing all those new documentaries like Game of Changers, like this one is coming out. The one before Eaten Out of Extension, the one is I saw, the last one, also amazing documentary. So I'm so happy that now, maybe because of COVID hits us, maybe something else, people actually talking about that
Yeah,
finally.
yeah.
Okay, so wherever dietary choice you have, guys, I appreciate that, but watch that movie just to educate yourself, to know how specific things affect not only your health but nowadays our world. Unfortunately, I think that in couple years, maybe 10, maybe 20, everyone would have to switch to the plant-based diet, not because of the health choice, because of the planet safety.
Mhm.
It's really happening right now. So I really think that everyone's going to benefit from plant-based diet, not because of any dietary choices, because we have to save this planet for us and for our children. This is what's
Yeah,
happening right now.
true, true. Aurora, so let's get a little bit here personal. So I would like you to see so you can share with us something about you that people misunderstand about personally about you. Is anything that people kind of like don't know or misunderstand when they see you or when they talk to you?
Yeah, it's really funny question because I don't know exactly because I'm not those people. But yeah, but I would say I think it's a part of my character and a part of Ukrainian culture.
Mm,
I think people sometimes could take me too straightforward. So I even heard about me that I'm on spectrum,
mm,
and that's only because I tell the truth. From the bottom of my heart, I usually tell people what I'm thinking,
mm,
and I don't care about any other things. I'm honest.
mhm.
And then that's because I just the way I am like that, and I truly believe if everyone on this planet is going to stop lying, we all going to be happier. And maybe it's hard to hear the truth. It's more hard than easy to hear the truth, but this is so easier than lying to everyone.
Right.
So yeah, sometimes people could take me as a too straightforward person, because if I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you. If I do like something, I'm gonna tell you. And then I don't even care what others think about this, because this is the truth.
That's awesome. That's
And
great.
it's not because, so like, by saying like people could take it too straightforward, I sometimes could hurt someone because of that, right?
Yeah,
And
I
it's not
know.
because I'm angry or because I'm a bad person. It's just the way I am. I'm just telling the truth, and sometimes I'm like, oh my god, it's truth, but it's hurt someone, and I'm so sorry for that, but that was the truth, so you got to take that. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot from a lot of the friends that sometimes my words can be hurtful just because I'm speaking, out of system. I'm speaking the truth, or I'm saying what I'm thinking at that moment without no filtering, and that at times can be taken harshly. But again, people are used to everything be sugar coated or be I talk to me sensitive or softly and things in that nature, and sometimes you just have to tell it how it is. So I think the message has to come straight, and then you don't have to sugarcoat it. So we appreciate your honesty. I don't have a problem. You can be as honest as you want in this channel. We all good. We
Yeah,
all
thank you.
family.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people appreciate you more when you do that, but a lot of
yes,
people not. They
right,
think
right.
that you are too straightforward, you're on spectrum, you crazy or something like this. So I'm just sometimes have a bad relationship with people, but again, I trying to be honest, that's it. And I think everyone should do that. We have to stop lying.
Right. So you always remain true to yourself. So what is the key for that? Like, what is it that you do that help you to remain true to yourself all the time?
Oh my God. What's helped me to be truth to myself? I think it's just if you truth to someone like around you, to everyone around you, you're not gonna be most likely like to yourself.
Mm,
So this is the key. I think that I'm not trying to be nice and trying to be the person I am not. for other people, which is a hard choice sometimes, but it's always for better.
Yeah.
So I think it's really helping me to don't lie to myself. But even though if sometimes I could cut myself on thinking or saying something that is actually not the truth, I, I just stop myself and I step back and I look on the situation from, the perspective, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the God choice in here. As I said, I am truly a spiritual person, so I'm always trying to think what's going to be the best choice if I listen to my heart, if I listen to the Lord, if I'm looking in the Bible and seeing, like, trying to find the answer right there. And I pray a lot to be honest with myself and with the others. And as I said, it's not always happening. I'm not perfect,
Right.
as no one is does. I think the only person who was perfect on this planet is the Jesus, and we are all can learn from him.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think this is what helped me to be truth.
Nice. So, when all said and done, how do you want us to remember you?
I just want to say you shouldn't ask this question because it feels like I'm gonna die. Uh,
Not at all. Not at
like,
all. Okay, how do you want people to think about you? I don't know.
yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm so sorry, but it sounds like how you wanted people to remember you. I'm like, oh my god, just like, am I dying tomorrow?
No, you're not.
Just
Come on
I'm
now.
gonna say like you guys can find me and follow me, so you shouldn't remember me just from today. Go on Instagram, find me on there. It's Avrora Profit,
Yeah,
or
we're
go
gonna get
to
to that.
my YouTube, which is Avrora Gunko, or you can also find me on my website, which is Avrora, AV as a victory, RORA profit.com. So follow me everywhere where you can find me. You don't need to forget me. I'm still here. Hopefully I'll be here for long enough.
You're gonna be here for a long time, so you already plug out
Yeah,
your
I
social
hope
media.
so. At least a couple more, 10, 20, at least 30 more
You forgot about the
years.
podcast. Tell us about the podcast.
Oh yeah, guys. Yes, recently I started my podcast. I'm so proud of that. It goes so well, and you can listen to that anywhere, basically Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora. My podcast called Vegan Booty Talks, and I interview vegan athletes in particular, and I also do podcasts about some specific vegan nutritions, some problems we are faced as vegans, all about that, just trying to help all our vegan community, give more information out there as much as I can.
That's great. So do you have some words for your fans, the people that follow you? Anything else that you would like them to know? Tell them, or that I missed
Yeah,
asking?
sure. I would say for anyone who listens us out there, I'm sure you probably interested in a plant-based diet, at least if you listen to this podcast. So I just want to encourage you that everything is possible. You should and you can be fully plant-based, and you can achieve your goals. You can build muscles. You can be the best, healthier version of yourself. You just need to do a little bit of research, a little bit of believing in yourself, and a lot of hard work, and you can do it. So I really want to say to anyone who listen out there, if you need help, come to me, come to you, right? Ask ask this vegan community. Don't be shy to ask, because we are really open to help. We know how it feels like. So if anyone have a questions about nutrition, diet, training, come to me, ask the questions. I'll be happy to answer. I have a free assessment for 30 minutes call. I sign up with anyone who need it. No charge for that, any dollar. I will be happy to answer on all your questions, guys. Just don't stay out there and think something is impossible. I'm telling you today, if you need to hear that, you can do anything and everything you put your mind to. So don't wait, put your mind to.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Aurora. We appreciate that. This has been great. I think people are gonna get a lot of value from this. I'm gonna put
I
all
hope
your
so.
yeah, they will, absolutely they will. Trust me. I'm gonna put all your links, social media, all that in the description of the video and the podcast, so people can relate and they can follow you. If they're not following yet, they better do it right now. And thank you so much. We appreciate the time and all your knowledge. And I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of people interested in more into plant-based, and not only that, but interested in learning more from you and knowing, following you for what your journey is, and that way they can see how they can be successful not only on as a plant-based, but also in everything anything else that they do in their life. Before I let you go, I mean, tell us a little bit about the magazine. Yeah, I know you say it was a few months ago, but how does that happen? Quickly, like how did it happen? The shoot, how the selection was. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago. As I said, it actually was a photo shoot after my last Olympia with
okay.
some New York photographer, and it was like a collaboration. And he did all the job. He connect me from this magazine, person, and they actually have an interview with me in this specific magazine because this is edition was a kind of fitness edition.
Right.
So yeah, they connect from like I didn't do the job. They come to me and they said, "Do
Wow.
you want to be in our magazine?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." What is as I posted today, I am really happy to be on the cover, and I'm really happy to be in there to tell my story and inspire people. But just like I posted, guys, if you didn't see my last post on IG, it's not changing my life. Okay. So to be in a magazine is not going to make you famous. It's not going to make you successful, and it's not going to make you happy. Okay. If someone think about that, I want to share with you guys, my grandmother died 9 days ago. Today is 9 days from my grandmother died. And I post that post because I was absolutely unhappy that day. I was so stressful and I was crying all day. My grandmother died because of COVID, and I was really close to her. And I see this magazine and I'm kind of doesn't have any value for me right now. So that's why I post like this. I was like, the much more valuable is how you show up to your family, to your friends, is how you are living every day. You can be on the cover of all the magazines in the world. It's not gonna make you happy. You can have thousands of dollars. If you can be a millionaire, I don't think it's gonna make you happy too. Honestly, it doesn't.
You're not happy, and it's not.
Yeah, I got 30s. Like it was my birthday on this month. I'm so old. Yeah, for anyone who listen, I'm 30. That's a lot, I think. So I got 30, and then my husband. Yeah, thank you. And my husband asked me like, okay, so what do you think? Like you got 30s, like what do you think it's like? What's changing and stuff? And I said, you know what? I would say now from after I lived on this planet 30 years, I would say don't do anything in this life for money. Because if you do something for money, you have two things that's going to come out from there. You may be unhappy all your life because you're just making money and you hate what you do, or you're going to be millionaire and still unhappy. Yeah.
All right, and we close with that one. That was awesome. That was a great message. So thank you guys. So we'll have another episode coming soon. This has been an awesome episode, a great interview with Aurora. So, and thank you. So we'll see you guys the next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure. I really appreciate what you do. I think you are an amazing podcaster, and my followers also going to benefit from your content. So I encourage you guys go and follow him as well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Aurora.
Gracias por escuchar Latino y Vegano, un show donde se habla todo lo relacionado sobre el veganismo entre la comunidad latina. No olviden suscribirse a este podcast, seguirnos en Instagram, Facebook, YouTube y a visitarnos en latinoyvegano.com.